Hello everyone. So I think it was like a week or two ago now, I made a post about an out-of-body experience I believe that I had, and it took me a while to try to share it because I wasn't quite sure what it meant or if it meant anything at all, or it was just an experience I had. So I sat there and I thought about it for a while. I decided I'm going to go ahead and document it, but I'm not saying anything's absolute or anything like that. I might even put some thoughts in there. So anyways, I was laying in bed sleeping, and I felt like this. If anybody else has any of these spirit experience, well, I know people do. I read about them a lot, but the way it feels is like, I'm not quite sure how to describe it, but it's like you have to. I'm going to explain some other things too, but first let me just tell this. Let me just tell what happened, and then I'll kind of give some on what I think. So, anyways, I was laying on my bed, and I ended up getting taken up, and I clearly felt myself like leaving my body, and I went up just a little bit, and then I started plummeting down. Okay, my first thought was, am I going to experience hell? Because I've asked God over and over again. I was like, if hell is real, let me experience it. Let me at least be able to know 100% whether it's true or whether it's not. Because right now, to me, it doesn't matter whether hell is real or not real. I don't need the fear of hell to try to be a good person. So, anyway, I've never truly, when I go, and anyways, I went down, and I ended up crawling on the, like I was crawling on the ground, like I couldn't get up. I don't know why, but I was like crawling on the ground, kind of like a snake, and like this underworld. But it wasn't fiery, it wasn't lava, it was just, I just felt like it was this underworld, this other dimension or something, a shadow realm maybe. I don't know. Anyways, I was crawling on the ground, and I remember I got up, and my thought was, I wanted to get up, and I wanted to kind of look around and see what this place looked like. But as soon as I got the thought of even wondering about this place, I was ripped up, and I got taken out of it, and I ended up back in my body. The first time it was instant. I had nothing to do with it, okay? So the next time I'm laying in my bed, my mind, I'm still kind of trailing off sleep, but I'm kind of conscious enough to know that I'm there laying in my bed. And so I started feeling like this, and this is what I mean. When I start to feel like these out-of-body experiences are going to happen, if anybody else has them, please let me know if this is what you experience. But it's like my mind, I had to start, my spirit, my body starts to vibrate kind of weirdly. It's like this weird vibration within my body. I feel it happening, and my mind, I'm sitting there focusing on trying to keep this vibration steady enough. And after I do that enough, it takes me out of my body. And the second time, I go up, and I start to feel like I'm going to plummet again. But I literally see this young angel. He was a man for sure. He was like a young man. He grabbed me by my hand, and he took me. I don't know whether he just flung me somewhere, whether he took me somewhere. It was like a guiding path, you know. And this is the point where I'm kind of like, I'm not sure whether whatever happened in that moment was erased from memory, or I just don't remember, or whether it led to the next sequence of the dream that happened. So the next time this happened, because I feel like my mind telling me it happened 3 times, but I only remember 2 for some reason. So this angel grabs me. Like I don't know how to describe him, but it's basically just kind of like how you would picture a guardian angel. He was humanoid looking. He looked very human, and he had wings on. I saw wings, and his hair was like a golden brown color. It was almost blonde colored when the sun was hitting it. And he grabbed me by my hand, and he took me somewhere, and he guided me somewhere else. And after that, the vision trailed off, and I ended up down into this other dimension, this other weird dimension that looked like one of our worlds, okay? But it was like I was there, but I wasn't there. I was like stuck as a consciousness in this other person's mind. Like I couldn't react. I couldn't control this person at all, but I was just there. Like it was almost, I'll kind of explain some theories on what I think. But anyways, so I'm there, and there's clearly this young man that I don't know. He's infatuated with this girl, and they're over there lovey-dovey kissing, and there's nothing XXX that happens there, but it's just like a relationship, right? And they're moving around into the house, and then I ended up running into like his father or his grandfather or something like that. And mind you, I'm not this person. I'm just watching this take place. I have no control of this person. He walks over and he, talks to his grandpa a little bit. I don't remember exactly what he said. And then it goes off and it goes outside. Now, when it goes outside, it gets crazy, okay? I like walk off and I get farther and farther and farther away. And for some reason, this guy looks back, the terrain completely changes. And I see like, man, I can't remember. I remember I saw a gigantic tiger. It was like gigantic. And I saw some type of dinosaur too in this dream. In this experience, whatever it was.
From TikTok.
And I saw
in 2013. Commented on your video.
And I started thinking about it, like I'm thinking, but I can't react to this. I'm like in the experience. I'm with this person, but I can't move them. I can't do anything. And so I'm backing up. I'm looking at this experience, and I see this gigantic tiger and like this some type of dinosaur looking thing. And as I'm starting to think, what am I experiencing right now? Okay, then it trails back even further, and I start seeing credits play, right? Like it's a movie. And then I trail back out, and I end up in somebody else's vision or mind watching this play. And then I woke up like, what just happened? And I was so confused. And my mind just thought, and then a couple of thoughts I had was like, it was almost like, I have a couple of theories, we have the Holy Spirit, the body. Maybe that's the anchor that anchors down consciousness. Then as I was going, we have some belief systems or religions that talk about, like Gnosticism, for example, talks about dissolving the ego. And, but then I started thinking about it, and I was like, okay, I had these other thoughts in my head. I guess it did happen a little bit. I was getting shot into people that I didn't know. I'm like, dude, is that possibly what happens if you don't know whether two of things, whether you don't dissolve your ego and become one with the source, well, then maybe you just bounce around, or maybe you need to discover your spiritual identity so that you can have a tangible anchor to when you do go to the spirit realm, so you're not just bouncing around through consciousness all over the place, because we are all ultimately one body. And I started thinking about it. I was like, how does my body know? How does my consciousness know to come back to me? And I was like, identity. That's the only thing that keeps my consciousness tethered to this body is identity. And possibly, God. But mainly knowing my identity, my location, and where I need to go. It's only how I knew how to go back. If I didn't know I existed, if I didn't know me, I'd probably be conscious out there wandering in this body, lost. And I was thinking, and people, that if you don't awaken and you don't understand your identity and you don't become one with the source, and then is there a possibility that some consciousnesses out there get trapped in this limbo of not knowing their destination? They're in the body, they're in the consciousness, but they don't know their identity. They're trying to figure out their identity. And these are all just theories on my part. Once again, I'm never going to say anything's absolute 100%. I don't do that. But I do like to share my experiences and see if anybody else has anything normal. This could also be spiritual. It could be spiritual. It could be symbolic. It could be metaphorical. I don't ever take it like, oh, this is 100% legitimate. Let's see what this is. But I'm thinking, like, what could it mean? What does it mean? Okay. And that's the end of that dream. I'm going to share a few of them here. Now, another one I had just last week. And this one was kind of shortish, but I'm not quite sure what it means, but it was clearly a warning, okay? So I had this dream to where there was these people, I don't know who they were in these cars, and they had like these systems up in their car. And I saw that they had a list of people, basically hits, of people that they were going around trying to find. And if you were on this list, it's like these people would be cruising around in these different neighborhoods. They wouldn't like break into your house or anything like that unless they absolutely 100% knew you were there. It was a covert operation that they were trying to make sure that they were trying to do it silently, is kind of the gist I got on it. I mean, my mind kind of told me a little bit that I was on this list in the dream, but it could have just been part of it. I don't know. But I woke up from that, and I don't know who these people were. I have no clue. That's the end. That one, I remember a few times that I was like inside of a house, and this is why I got the idea that they wouldn't actually go in there with you. I saw it was me and my family, and the reason why I thought I was on this list, or maybe I thought that I was under, is because I was in this house and I was hiding, and these cars were like creeping about. I remember hold on, I just remember one spot. I was sitting on a swing, and I was just sitting there with this, a kid, I think it was my son. I don't know. It was a kid. I can't 100% remember whether it was my son or not. I feel bad, but I think it was. But it was and these two cars creep by. And as they're creeping by, I'm on the swing. I'm kind of just looking at them, and I see them over there looking at this system, this device in their car. And it kind of trailed off. It showed me kind of a list. I don't remember the name. I don't think I saw the names or nothing. It was just giving me that there was a list of people that these people were looking for. Okay. As they slowly creeped by, they looked at me for a minute. They walked off. And then these two people were like hand gesturing to each other. He was like giving a gesture, like turn around, turn around. I was looking down at the road, and I saw him doing this. And as he did this, I grabbed the kid, and I said, hey, we need to go inside. Hey, we need to go inside. And I grabbed their hand, and we walked inside. And then after that, the kid disappeared. I don't know where they went. I guess it was just a part of the dream. So anyways, I'm in my house, and I'm like sitting in the corner of this wall or something, and there was a window there. And there was like a blind. It was kind of opened up a little bit, and I was looking out there, and I see this car just kind of like creeping by. And they never stopped. So I was like, they saw me, they turned around, but then they wouldn't go inside because I was safe. Maybe it means I'm being protected. Maybe it means, God protects people. I don't know what it means. And then if you all stuck through this one, I kind of wanted to tell you, that's the end of that dream. But if you stuck through the entire video, then I kind of wanted to tell you kind of like a cool little thing. So in the past, if you guys have watched my testimony, you know that I got in trouble, and I had to do some probation work, and I ended up working for a church for a little bit, and helping hang up clothes and take out trash and cook and things like that. And so